don't give me your hand, I'll just nail it to the cross. Do you not understand what my freedom will cost? They order you dead, a heretic in disguise. But my heart fills with dread as I look in your eyes. Oh, I do not know what I have done to deserve this, 'cause you gave it all up for me, knowing my purpose. Oh, my heart breaks as I watch blood from my hands. But as I wash in blood, I know it's washing me of my sins. Played a game for your clothes as your blood hit the ground. But when you prayed for our souls, how sweet was the sound. As I looked on you shake, I wanted to doubt. But when the earth began to quake, my sin died on that mount. Oh, I do not know what I have done to deserve this, 'cause you gave it all up for me, knowing my purpose. Oh, my heart breaks as I wash your blood from my hands. But as I wash in blood, I know it's washing me of my sins. Oh, I will look you in the face and betray you. Oh, behold my disgrace, I pray you. You know full well what I did and what I'll do. Even so, you'll give me your hand. Even so, you'll give me your beautiful hand to die.
This next testimony, we're going girl, guy tonight. It just hit me back there. Just how far there's kind of some trophies of grace. I've been a student pastor for about 10 years, and there's some people that you just see as trophies of God's grace when you look at. And this next person is one of those, because I remember coming here. Over 5 years ago, right, Sarah? Yeah, it's been over 5 years now. And this person, Channing was leading at that time. He's come a long ways. He was great then, but we were developing, and we needed a drummer. We needed a drummer in our youth band. And we heard that somebody named Caleb could drum. And we're like, Caleb Caldwell? Did anybody know Caleb 5 years ago? Raise your hand. Some? Can I impersonate you? Do you care? Okay, this was Caleb Caldwell 5 years ago. Really, if you talk to him, anything, this is how he would be. Am I right? Am I exaggerating? No, that's it. That's seriously. Literally the most introverted person you'll ever meet in your life was Caleb Caldwell 5 years ago. But Caleb stepped out of his comfort zone and started playing drums for us. I don't think it's coincidence. It hit me back there. And I want Logan to stand up. Logan, stand up for a second. Stand up. This was Logan's first night on the drums up here, everybody. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. He just dabbed. He is the opposite of introvert. Sometimes it's like, settle down, right? But he thought he was just going to practice with them tonight beforehand. And he sounded really good. And I said, Logan, why don't you play tonight? He's like, no. I'm like, come on. I'm like, Caleb doesn't want to share tonight. And he's going to share his testimony. And so he stuck it out and he played drums tonight. Caleb started playing drums. Then he moved to piano, keyboard for us. And then he moved to play on Sundays, keyboard for us. He plays every week, the synth. And he's moved to lead worship for us at the Well. He is our worship leader here at the Well. He organizes it. He leads the band. He prays. But Caleb Caldwell is a trophy of grace that I consider in my ministry. Not anything I've done. I've seen God work through him. He loves theology and studying God. He's incredibly funny. You would never know that from his introvertedness, but he has comedy podcasts online. And he's turned into a great songwriter and musician. But what I want you to hear is his story, where God has brought him from. And remember, he was the most introverted person you would ever meet. Not even look in the eye, not say a word. And he's about to come speak and share his story with you. This is a big deal. So give a big hand, everybody, to Caleb Caldwell. Caleb Caldwell.
Hello. So, I'm Caleb. I grew up in Kentucky. Grew up in a Christian family, went to church all my life. I was taught correct theology all my life. And I remember one day I was in the kitchen of our old house, and everything clicked. God is real. I've sinned against him, but because of Jesus, I don't have to go to hell. And I started crying. And I went to my mom and I told her, and she talked to me. And I was saved when I was 8 years old. And the thing about being saved when you're that young and growing up in the church and being taught this truth, like this fundamental important truth that has been the cause of like revolutions and reformations, is that it can become normal to you, which isn't a good thing. Like the fact that the God of the universe has died to you, has died for you, it can become normal to you. And so my life since then, being saved now for 11 years, has been learning to appreciate that and to enjoy God and to love God and to follow God. And the only way that I know how to do that is to read my Bible a lot every day. So that was Act 1, salvation. Act 2, now. When I was 2010, so I was like, I don't know how, like 11 years old. I was not musical at all. I didn't play anything. Probably didn't even have like a favorite band. It was probably like Drake Bell from Drake and Josh. That was like how musical I was. And then 2 things happened separately, but they happened within probably the same year. I got Beatles Rock Band. And I started playing the drums on Beatles Rock Band for my birthday one year. And then probably the next birthday, I asked for a real drum set. I got a drum set, and the drums was the first instrument that I learned. And then probably around that same time, a song called Fireflies by Owl City came out. And I started learning piano because I wanted to be able to play Fireflies by Owl City. And if God hadn't put that album, hadn't put Owl City in my life, I would not be a musician. Like I play everything that I play, and I write music and I perform because I wanted to capture the feeling that Owl City gave me. I wanted to make people feel the way that I felt listening to Owl City. Because here was, if you don't know, Owl City is one guy, like super introverted kid. I think he has Asperger's. And he made all this music that I loved in his parents' basement in the middle of nowhere. And I wanted to do that. And I've spent the last 6 years trying to do that. And then around the same time, we started coming here, and I was playing drums, piano, guitar at that point, and I think I'd started writing songs, instrumental music at least. And I remember on Sunday mornings during worship, I wasn't worshiping because I was watching the band and imagining being on stage. And this was like when I was still incredibly quiet, didn't know anyone. And so my entire teenage years, I had 2 dreams: to make music that I love and to lead worship. And here we are in 2018, and I'm working on my 3rd album and leading worship. So I think God, you have the desires that you have and the talents that you have because God wants you to use them. God wants you to do the things that you're good at for His glory. So do them, and don't think that because you aren't good enough or because you think it probably won't work out that you shouldn't do it, because God wants you to do the things that you're good at. And I think that's it.
Awesome job. Awesome. If you didn't know, the song we concluded with, it was the song we concluded with in worship, is one of his originals of worship songs. We've sung it here many times. That's one that he's written. Testimony of God's grace. Another story of Jesus at work.